Hello, hope I'm doing well. And today we're going to take a look at the Datamine for the upcoming Senran Kagura event. That's called the Ninja Scrolls Azur Flash. And overall, the units at first glance, and this is the Datamine translation, so there might be some variation, but they're generally pretty good about it. The units look pretty decent. Normally, they have the issue of requiring a bunch of the same faction unit to be in the same fleet, and then overall they're not very good. Maybe there'll be like one that's really good, that is independent, but most of the time it's like that. This time, not so much. So, well, from this translation, hopefully it's accurate and they're pretty good. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. So let's take a look at the chips. So before we get started, I'll say big thank you to Datamine team for doing this and all the work they usually do. Thank you. So let's get started with Asuka, the basically face of the event. Stats overall look pretty good. She's a light cruiser, so makes sense. I got good torpedo, got good AA. Anti-sub could be a little higher, but that's okay. Evasion's not bad. Got really good luck. Limit break, she has torpedo preload and just basic upgrades. Gear slots are fine. We're reading the second one. So at the start of the battle, for first skill, we have a name, Double Sword Pursuit. So at the start of battle, for every Senran Kagura faction ship in your fleet, Asuka will get plus 15% crit damage. So this can stack up to 3 times, like up to 45% extra crit damage. That's really potent. That sounds really good. It just, the restriction kind of sucks, but the other ships are pretty decent, and there's a gear that can change one ship into Senran Kagura factions. That's cool. And every 12 seconds, all Senran Kagura faction characters will deal 10% more damage to the enemy with the lowest HP. And Asuka will fire a level 10 barrage. That's, level 10. Also, if there's only one enemy afloat when this effect is triggered, this barrage will always critically hit. And if this barrage defeats an enemy, fires the skill 2 barrage, so that's down below. There's a 10-second cooldown between activations. So her second skill, Blade Clash, she gets plus 15 firepower and torpedo. And when she gets knocked down below 30% HP, she gets plus 10 evasion and fires a level 10 special barrage that will heal herself for 12% of the damage dealt. And this can only be triggered once per battle. And if there's only one enemy afloat, this barrage will always critically hit. So it seems like you can abuse this fleet comp with bosses, so you always get those crits. But it seems like with this first skill, she can get quite a bit of healing off if she crits well. That's really good. So overall, Asuka doesn't look too bad. Obviously, she has the restriction with the other needing other Senran Kagura ships, but that's not terrible. Only needs 3 others. Well, no, in the fleet. It didn't say excluding herself, so I'm say up here. It doesn't say up here excluding herself. So 2 others. So realistically, you only need 1 other ship from this event, and then one of the equipment that changes the ship's faction to Senran Kagura, and you'll be good to go. So yeah, Asuka looks pretty decent. Could be good for boss fights. Yeah, there we go. Asuka. Next up is Ikaruga. This is the welfare heavy cruiser from the event shop, and also available as a dropship. Which also on the gacha too. Overall, just kind of looks pretty basic stat-wise. Nothing too crazy. Medium armor. Torpedo preload, that's nice. Just overall looks standard heavy cruiser with torpedoes. Now for skills, Fierce Sky Phoenix Flash. Every 20 seconds after the battle starts, she will stop in place for 3 seconds and fire a special barrage. While she is stopped, she generates a barrier with strength equal to 2% of the ship's max HP. And if this barrier is broken or it expires, then she fires a barrage. And looks like the time it would expire is 3 seconds. So after those 3 seconds, while she's stopped, then she fires a barrage, even if it's not broken. Got it. Next skill, Flame Dance. Every 10 seconds after the battle starts, gets plus 1 accuracy and reload for 5 seconds, and an 80% chance to fire a special torpedo barrage. And when she falls below 60% HP, she takes 10% less damage, gets 15% extra evasion, gets 10% extra firepower and torpedo for the rest of the battle. This can only proc once per battle. That's nice buffs. Yeah, it just seems to be like the standard tank for this event. If you want to run an all Senran Kagura fleet, there you go. You can run a Ikaruga for your tank. Next up is Homura. She is the submarine that's available through event missions, so you can get her that way. Torpedo doesn't look too bad. Auction 200, that's not bad. Pretty standard limit break perks. That's fine. Subtorps. There we go. First skill, Flying to Death. When she runs out of oxygen and has to surface, she fires a special barrage that inflicts a special burn. So this special burn will stack with any other burns you have that are special and unique, in addition to a generic burn. That's cool. And then her second skill, Red Lotus Flame. She gets 10% extra torpedo, and when she retreats from battle, she fires a special barrage. So this would be torpedoes, maybe guns, I'm not sure. Let's say torpedo spread. And she removes any burns on ships in your fleet. That's cool. That's nice debuff cleanse when she leaves. So for boss fights that have fire on them, like the Algeri meta, I know we don't have that anymore, but something like that, that could be useful. Yeah, I thought Homura would be the best overall just because of her what type of ship she is, so being a submarine. But she doesn't look too bad. Looks like she can kind of run her with like a Royal Fortune since you don't need to have a particular faction fleet to do the most out of those two. Next up is Yumi, aircraft carrier, SSR. Overall, looks pretty generic. Nothing too standoutish with her. Standard gear loadout, so no double fighters. Nothing special there. No break perks. No preload, just kind of buffing everything up. And for her skills, plus 15% aviation, which launch an airstrike and additional aerial barrage, so more planes. And her next skill, Tylane, Ice Fan. When she falls below 50% HP in battle, she heals herself by 20%, and then empties her detection gauge. So let's say it's full, she's being attacked, which makes sense, she's at 50% HP. She goes undetected. And she fires a special barrage. So that part of the ability is pretty cool. It just, other than that, she doesn't have anything that really makes her stand out. And if your carrier's getting down to 50% HP and you're not doing like chapter 14, 15, or 13 hard mode, you probably have some other issues going on. But the second skill's cool. How much it's gonna work, I don't know. You only proc once per battle. Yeah, overall, nothing too crazy, but if you like her, you like her. She looks nice. For the last SSR, we have Fubuki, the battleship. Firepower's not bad. Anti-air's not terrible. They reload. Free standard limit break perks. You can use DD or CL guns. That's nice. You can use just anti-air guns. It says time fuse. It's just the stupid ones in the gear lab. I don't get why they exist. Because just use a Gopher Stag or Paysmare. But first skill, the Majesty of the Management Committee, minus 8% damage taken for herself. That's cool. Plus 10% damage dealt to heavy armor enemies. That's nice. Gives her a niche. Enemies hit by the ship's main guns have their firepower, torpedo, aviation reduced by 8% for 8 seconds. That's really nice. And then plus 60% damage dealt by the first volley of the main gun salvos. While the ship is afloat, the Vanguard fleet gets 10% extra AA and reload, and the flagship, whoever that is, gets 5% extra damage. So I'm wondering if this second one will be tied to the actual faction fleet itself. That seems like a restriction that should be there, but doesn't seem to be present. But the first part of her skill seems really good. Big fan of that. Definitely see her. Nice debuffer. Niche against heavy armor enemies, so battleship bosses. There you go. Yeah, that first skill looks pretty good. Pretty solid. Next up, Purple Ice Explosion. Gets extra firepower and accuracy. Whenever she fires her main gun, 70% chance to fire a special barrage. And whenever enemies are hit by this barrage, they take 5% more aviation damage, which lasts to the end of the battle. So she can be running a mixed fleet. So let's say you want to run her in like a mob fleet. Maybe not a mob fleet, depending on what her barrage looks like. But she can debuff enemies. Hopefully it's like a really kind of like a Nagato style barrage where it kind of covers the whole screen so a lot of enemies get hit. And then you can run like Unicorn, Aquila, Perseus, there's any other carrier in that mob fleet, and they can take advantage of this extra aviation damage buff. That looks pretty cool. So, looks pretty good. Probably the best looking one so far in terms of kit. Next up is the SR light aircraft carrier Murasaki. That doesn't look terrible for a SR and these light carriers. So let's have a little more anti-air, but what's her anti-sub? I don't know how that compares to Independence or Unicorn, but She's got anti-sub. She's a CVL, so she can use the sub ASW planes. Similar perks, just extra planes. It'd be more based on fighters and torpedo bombers, which makes sense because she doesn't have dive bombers. So for her skills, little baby hide, extra aviation anti-air. At the start of battle, she gets extra detection gauge. I'm not sure if this means okay. Up here in the auto translation, the maximum value of detection gauge bar is increased by 15 points. So what it their translation seems like it's saying she starts out 15%, 15 points from zero, but what it actually means is it's 15 points above normal. Okay, that's not terrible. Points at the start of battle, randomly mark an enemy unit, and when that enemy dies, self heal for 15% HP. That's pretty cool. I like that ability. The first skill, not terrible overall. The heal is nice. Maybe more of a mob fleet, I'm thinking, with this skill. And then the Evil Spirit Purple Dance. While the ship is afloat, if a main fleet ship takes damage 5 times, she gains 1 stack of Power of the Soul. When she next launches an airstrike, she consumes all stacks of this thing, Power of the Soul, and fires Special Barrage. And 1 stack can be held at a time, so you don't have to pile them up and hold and wait. So, I like the heal on this. And if you're going to be taking damage, which you might be if you're fighting someone with planes. So not terrible, but nothing that really stands out to me from Murasaki. It's kind of So Murasaki is the event accumulation point ship, so that makes sense why she's not too standoutish, but yeah, not terrible, but nothing I'd say replace someone else in your fleet for. And lastly, for our ships, we have Yuyaki. She is a SR heavy cruiser. She is a gun heavy cruiser. She doesn't have torpedoes. Wish her firepower is a little bit higher. Anti-air is up to like 200, 205. And nothing too standoutish with that. Theater skills. Soul of Tono. When her main gun or secondary guns hit an enemy, the 20% chance increase reload by 5%. Max 5 stacks, so you can get up to 15%. So I'm thinking run a really fast DD gun on her, and then, pretty much your best CA gun that you can afford to put on her and make most of that skill. That seems to be the my idea with that one. And when the above effect hits max stacks, fire a special barrage immediately. Gets 10% extra main gun damage dealt for the rest of the battle. And whenever the skill 2 barrage procs, so she's gonna have a one the second skill, the skill 1 barrage will also proc alongside it for the rest of the battle. That's really good. I'm assuming this 10% main gun damage doesn't stack, but basically it's 2 barrages in one with this. That's pretty cool. And then chain slash, plus 15 accuracy. For every 4 shots fired from the ship's main guns, fire an additional main gun salvo, and fire a special barrage. So yeah, she just wants to fire fast, fire quick, just spam gunfire downrange. Nothing too crazy. Interesting combos just to see how much she can shoot. Kind of like how people would get the French destroyers just to zoom around the map just for her to see how fast Yuyaki can actually shoot. That'd be pretty cool to watch. Now we have some Augment Gears for all the ships, so they will all get them. I believe you can just craft them, because I didn't see them in any of the shops or drops or whatever. But Asuka gets extra firepower and torpedo. Damage reduction. Maybe not slash stack. That's the other one. Wait, was slash stack then? Upgrade skill description. Blade Clash Plus. That's their second skill. I believe all these just get like an extra special barrage. And yeah, it looks like they just get extra special barrages. It's just a lot of text, and my dyslexia is kicking my ass right now. Yeah, it looks like it's just an extra barrage. And if it kills, it fires a extra special barrage, or 3 extra special attacks. That's pretty cool. You can kind of spam stuff. I wish it did something with this part of the skill requiring Senran Kagura faction ships in there, but okay. Yeah, lots of barrage spam with her, looks like. Next up is Ikaruga's Augment Gear. She gets extra firepower and reload. That's pretty cool. Plus 6 luck. And every 20 seconds after the battle starts, she reduces the artillery. I think it's supposed to be torpedo and aviation attributes of the random enemy by 5% for 5 seconds. It's nice indirect survivability there. That's pretty cool. Upgrade Fierce Sky Phoenix Flash to the plus variant. And it looks like she gets that also special barrage. Yeah, which just added a special barrage. Yep, extra special barrage. I like the mod effect though. That's pretty cool. I do like the slash attacks. They are very useful, especially in PvP and challenge mode stages. But that's a pretty cool ability. Pretty unique. Now we have the Augment Gear for Homura. Gives her extra torpedo and hit. That's nice. Extra luck by 12 points and extra torpedo crit rate. That's really nice. I like that ability. Opposed to the like debuff one they usually have, or some of them have for the Augment Gear. There's one or two. One gives crit rate, the other gives the debuff. There's a character on the field whose special ignited state caused by a skill. So critical damage will be increased by 20%. So, how does this work? First damage received during the attack we change to 1. After the attack will dive again. So maybe she buffs an ally, it looks like. She'll kind of pop up now like a dolphin. Not 100% sure on her. Definitely some funky translation and formatting here. That's just a raw dump, so that's fine. Yeah, if she could buff their crit damage, stack that with Asuka, that's a pretty good combo. So yeah, not bad. Obviously, you should grab all their Augment Gears if you're going to grab the ships, but there you go. Next up, we have Yumi's Augment Gear. So extra aviation hit, that's good amount. Extra luck and hit and reload, that's pretty good. I like her Augment Gear skill. So when she launches her air attack, she also gets a secret ninja technique. Repertoire Ice Bath. When she hits an enemy, she adds a layer of snow dance lasting for 5 seconds. And while this enemy is affected by his skill, their speed is reduced by 30%. And when hit by this again, there's a chance the speed will reduce to 2 within 2 seconds. And each layer of snow dance increases possibility by 20%. So how many planes can she hold? I think 2 or 3. Yeah, like 40% looks like. Yeah, not terrible. Definitely an improvement. Like it a lot better now. Now we have Fubuki's Augment Gear. Firepower and reload. That's nice for a battleship. During battle, your block increased by 4 points. When you're damaged and the durability, so your health is lower than 50%. Extra firepower by 10%. So last in the battle. It's going to be triggered once per battle. So I don't know how much that part's going to be used, considering she is a battleship, but we'll see. And she gets a special skill. Enemies hit 5 times special barrages. Get special armor piercing, so looks like it adds an armor break effect in addition to the aviation damage, which is cool. I always like more armor break on my battleships. Enemies hit 5 times. Yeah, unfortunately this is very confusing, so I would recommend kind of pausing. Well, you'll see when they get added. You can probably make your decision based off the ship itself. Nothing too crazy, but I do like the armor piercing effect. Armor break effect. So, I don't know if this is armor break, it means, or they get a special ability like Hindenburg has, where she can have any ammo type that has the AP effect, but not AP modifiers. So, I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, I'm thinking probably not the best in terms of effects, but the stats are nice. Next up is Murasaki's, gives extra aviation anti-air. That's nice for a light carrier. During battle, your luck is reduced by 6 points. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't remember what her luck stat was, but I don't think it'll decrease. Probably increase. Maybe it's a trade-off for these other buffs, but I don't know about that one. And they have a question mark too, so I'm questioning it too. and gives extra aviation and evasion. That's cool. Make her do more damage, keep her alive. And then when she gets the power of the Soulbane of things, so that thing after you get hit 5 times, you get that special effect on her. And next airstrike, she also gets an additional effect, the ninja technique, which poisons. Got a poison to this game? What does the world come to? Actually, I think Elbing had poison too. Causing 105 points of damage per second, lasting 20 seconds. Jesus. That's interesting. That could be decent. Because that would stack with like flooding and burn damage. That's a unique effect. Huh. I'm not sure how much use it would be, but it's a definitely interesting ability. You can like run a stacked damage over time fleet. That'd be cool. Run like Gear Sarge, Shimikaze, Ozuma Drake, um, Murasaki, and one other backliner. And lastly, we have Yuyaki, which gets extra luck. And when your main or secondary guns hit an enemy, there's a 10% chance of reducing damage caused by that enemy by 5% for 5 seconds after triggering and enter 10-second cooldown. So yeah, just spam guns with her. She likes shooting a lot, evidently. Firepower and hit, that's nice. Makes her shots more likely to hit, more likely to proc these abilities. When the effect from hitting enemies a bunch is maxed, the special ninja technique. I'm guessing this one's just a barrage. Yeah, it says power based on skill level, so I'm guessing it's just a barrage for that one. Nothing too crazy, because looks like the same effect as her normal skill. Yeah, nothing too crazy for Tachi or Yuyaki. Her skill is called Tachi. Yuyaki. But nothing terrible. Obviously, you'll be equipping it if you're going to use her anyway. But yeah, looks better than default. There you go. Next up, let's look at the event shop. So we have Ikaruga, that makes sense. Gear skin box, there you go. Now, Ninja Master Badge, Ninja Costume, Ninjutsu Scroll. Those are the gears. Let's pop over to that real quick. The Ninja Master Badge gives AA and hit, and changes the BGM. And it looks like it just gives stats and changes the BGM, like the microphones from the Muse events. So not the best there. Ninja Costume, this one is better. This is going to be like the dress from the Muse events. Gives HP and changes their faction to Senran Kagura, but they also still have their default faction, so they can double buff. So you can use this to have Asuka not be so crippled. So you don't have to run 3 Senran Kagura ships, you can run 2, Asuka and someone else, probably Fubuki. And then someone else with this ninja costume effect, and then you'll be good to go. And the ninjutsu scroll, extra hit and firepower when equipped by a Senran Kagura ship. So if you have this and this, you could probably come out with someone who's not Senran Kagura, looks like. Starts things after battle, fires pressure barrage, fires the ship's firepower stat. You can only fire once per battle. And if equipment is carried by an SS, the submarine, fire the barrage immediately. And only fire once per battle. So this is like that the dragon thing that if you equip it, it shoots a barrage from the Link Collab. Go back to the shop. So yeah, Ninja Costume, Ninja Scroll, probably grab those two first when using the ships. Ninja Master Badge, just if you want to. And then Cognitive Arrays is good. Definitely grab the special PR prints for your DRs, and then the PR prints for your other ships. After that, kind of grab what you need. There's plenty of gear parts, so you can get those. If you need extra oil or coins, there you go. Oxycola. If you were to get to the very end of the event, and you have some stuff left over, grab some Oxycola. Cat boxes are always good. Hope you get a good cat with Flame's Aggression. Sliding over to the milestone rewards, it's pretty standard. Upgrade prints, coins. First bunch always gives coins, that's nice. And you get Murasaki at 10,000. Then you start working on getting the stuff. They're pretty generic, nothing too crazy there. And lastly, for the event maps, I don't have the drop ships. They didn't have that, but I don't think it'll be anything too crazy other than T5 will drop. What's her name? Karga? Karu? With the Karu. The gear, I'm not seeing anything that's impressing me. Advanced boiler, maybe. That's about it. The T2, that gun isn't terrible. You can upgrade it to a better version. You get the fire suppressor from T4, but I would recommend just farming T5. Same as the what event just reran? Same as the Tempesta event. So just farm tier 5, and hopefully there's some good ships here. Obviously, I don't know yet, but there you go. So overall, there's definitely some potential here for these ships. Fubuki, I'm probably most interested in. After that, seeing if I can get Asuka to combo well, and having their Augment Gears is definitely a must. So yeah, Fubuki, Asuka, and definitely try and get at least 3 ships. Well, and you'll get Homura for free. You'll get Murasaki for free. Get Ikaruga for free. So there's quite a few free ones you can get. So yeah, Fubuki, Asuka, one's the most interesting. Yumi kind of just looks like not terrible, but nothing that just stands out to me on her. And then the poison on what was her name? Murasaki, that looks interesting. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it useful. Once again, thank you to the Datamine team for providing this information. If you found it useful, share it out. Help someone else with their decision making. See if you're gonna spend cubes or not, or keep saving for the UR. That should be coming at the end of the year or beginning of next year. Good luck with your polls, and see you next time. Bye bye.